move you to this conversation now. Africa's flagship technology conference, TechCon, will be taking place in Cape Town. This happens from tomorrow. The 4-day event is expected to bring together policymakers, technologists, and private sector leaders from across the continent for a week of knowledge exchange and strategic collaboration. To tell us more about this tech event, we bring into the conversation Yaliwe Mlambo, who's co-founder of TechCon. Yaliwe, thank you so much for your time this hour. So could you start by telling us what TechCon is all about and what attendees can expect this year? And what are some of the key themes or topics that will be highlighted during the 4 days of TechCon?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. So TechCon, as you can see, stands for Technology Conference. And we will be bringing together government officials from different African countries and also policymakers and regulators from within the country to have a deep dive into emerging tech and how regulation can improve this technology without stifling innovation, right? So we will be talking about different aspects of tech. We're talking about blockchain technologies and how that can improve inefficiencies in African governments and also improve the lives of citizens, but how does regulation play a part and how can government look at regulation? We will have roundtable discussions, we will have classroom sessions and case studies over the next 4 days.
And I like that you bring in regulation into the conversation as well. So much has also been said around this because we've seen how technology has turned us into one big global village. And that also means that the threats are also there. We're seeing hacking also coming into the fold. Just how important is it to have this space regulated, particularly when we look at security threats and many other cyber problems that we face this year?
So it's very important because when the regulator is informed, so sometimes we find that the regulator has very limited knowledge of a certain type of technology, right? And for them to make decisions or maybe for them to come up with policies, it takes too long because they're going to do a lot of research. So we're making that work easier so that as they make decisions to even put together policies, they're speaking from a point of know-how, not from research, they have the knowledge from industry leaders from around the world. So we have people also joining us from Dubai and Cyprus, just to compare how some of these countries have been doing in terms of policy and trying to see where standardization can play a role when it comes to tech, especially like you said, it's now one global village, right? So we can borrow from other countries as well.
And there's also a need, and that need is to bridge a gap with the emerging players that are also coming into the fold. I mean, people who really are raising their hands to say they want to be part and parcel of some of the solutions that we see in the tech space. How are you planning as a conference to bridge the gap between government and some of these emerging players?
Okay, so where we start from is the education. That's why we need to educate government, because what happens is when a government is not educated, they might stifle innovation. And you have these young people, you have these emerging players coming up with solutions, right? Beautiful solutions, but because they don't understand the regulatory aspect of it, or the government doesn't understand the technological aspect of it. So there's kind of, I would call it a hold, right? And then you find that this person is not moving forward with the innovation and the blockages are just too many. So when we educate government, it's easy for them to have policy that is friendly and also to guide the emerging players in this space in terms of safe, playing it safe, right? Without maybe harming the users or, creating chaos within the space. So there's a lot that we'll be looking at.
And just how important is this platform that you have rolled out now for, general tech-savvy people or for Africa's position in general in the global technology landscape? And how can ordinary citizens also benefit, from the advancements and collaborations that might be happening at this conference?
Okay, so at the moment it's a bit closed off because we were trying to deal with government for the past 2 years. Next year we're looking at opening it up to the public because then we can have the government leaders speaking for themselves. We have governments that have implemented some of the solutions. They will be able to talk about what they've done, how young people have been involved. We also work with organizations that are empowering young people. As we speak, we have a hackathon coming up where we've got over 90 developers right here in Cape Town that will be coming up with solutions, and we'll be exposing them to grants programs in order for them to create a solution that makes a difference within the community. And with that, there will be job creation, obviously. So it's a lot when it comes to us looking at how the ordinary citizen can join it.
Right, that's co-founder of TechCon, Yaliwe Mlambo, joining us there. Thanks very much indeed for your time. And of course, we do apologize for that line there.